In the remarkable world of science, the quest for innovation occasionally veers into the domain of disagreement. This reality is most apparent in the case of the recent deployment of genetically edited mosquitoes, with Bill Gates, a notable figure in technology and vaccines, entering the fray. Bill Gates emerges again as having financial interests in yet another experimental process in which unsuspecting humans are used as guinea pigs. This event has sparked a whirlwind of discourse and unease. Media sources such as USA Today reported on these genetically enhanced insects, revealing that they were released by a company called Parasite, and that has been corroborated by multiple other sources as well. Bill Gates appears to have the true main masterminds behind these genetically modified mosquitoes. In the Gates Notes video, owned and produced by Bill Gates himself, he not only acknowledges but also endorses the mosquito release program, providing additional insight into this hot-button issue. The coverage, from both news organizations and Gates, suggests that these mosquitoes have been engineered to possess a specific trait, a genetic modification that prevents makes from reproducing. GMO mosquito supporters claim that, if successful, this could be a significant leap forward in the use of experimental genetically modified organisms in the fight against diseases that take numerous lives annually. Yet, the potential dangers and ethical questions attached to this hypothetical advancement must not be dismissed. While these mosquitoes might someday be incapable of transmitting malaria, there remains a large gap in our understanding regarding the potential environmental effects of releasing into the environment these various organisms and animals with modified genetic codes. This genetic tinkering could disrupt food chains affecting various species, including humans, in unpredictable ways. In addition, there is the danger of unanticipated collateral damage. What if these genetically modified insects mutate further and gain unforeseen characteristics? Will we be capable of managing or reversing such results? These questions are further exacerbated by the Gates Notes video. A viral video on Instagram made a sensational, yet factually supported claim, linking these mosquitoes directly to Gates, insinuating he developed malaria drugs and orchestrated the release of these genetically modified mosquitoes in the US. The mainstream media has downplayed this part of the story, labeling anything different than the mainstream narrative to be misinformation and fake news. The accusation went even further, associating the mosquitoes with recent malaria cases in Texas and Florida. In any event, it certainly does at least appear that Gates is directly tied to the release of the genetically modified mosquitoes. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, recognized around the world for funding research and experimental projects involving malaria and various other neglected tropical diseases and parasites, does, at least from the information that I have seen, appear to have a direct connection with these GMO mosquitoes and their release into the environment. Now, in a related story, official U.S. EPA documents have been obtained revealing a 2020 EPA admission to their participation in the genetic modification of the Toxoplasmosis parasite to be a novel vaccine delivery system. This GMO novel vaccine delivery system modification has also been done on mosquitoes, as well as on sandfly species that carry and spread mucocutaneous leishmaniasis, a deadly and disfiguring parasitic infestation. This parasitic disease, carried and spread by these sandflies, now also genetically modified to be a novel vaccine delivery system, just like what was done with parasitic toxoplasmosis. Parasitic diseases, caused by parasites, are being genetically modified to be novel vaccine delivery systems. What the heck, right? Well, speaking for myself, I would have to say no thank you, I pass. But then if it is a mosquito that is doing the sticking, I may not have any chance to say no, and that my friends is part and parcel of the issue at hand here. The release of these genetically modified mosquitoes has undoubtedly ignited a pretty heated response from many who disagree with the idea and its safety, while justifications for technological advancement come from others. On the one hand, supporters of GMO say that by genetically modifying these parasites and releasing them into the environment, that we have the potential to more effectively combat deadly diseases and save lives. On the other hand, there is mistrust, fueled by previous scandals that have recently come to light, as well as current information that is still unfolding. Alternative information and facts regarding this story, or other stories by the mainstream propaganda narrative, should not be automatically dismissed as being just more conspiracy theories. So, that being said, don't be afraid to question the mainstream narrative. You may be surprised what the real truth actually is. From my experience, I can tell you this: Truth is certainly very often scarier than fiction. Believe it or not.
The virus itself, particularly the variant called Omicron, is a type of vaccine.
Since the outbreak of COVID-19, the word virus has been dominating media headlines as well as our daily lives. Did you know that one approach that has been proposed to control virally transmitted diseases is by releasing a virally transmitted vaccine? Unlike traditional vaccines, infectious vaccines do not require any individual consent, using recent real-world examples.
In the case of a vaccination ordered on the basis of this law, or one publicly recommended by the highest state health authority, vaccines may be used which contain microorganisms which can be excreted by the vaccinated person and ingested by other people. The fundamental right to physical integrity, like your body, is restricted in this respect, meaning we don't care about it as long as we can yell that there's a pandemic.
The virus itself, particularly the variant called Omicron, is a type of vaccine.